It's okay now. All of it, everything, it's all okay now. Unless you are an average American or your name is Orange Man Bad, then disregard. Let me explain. Anyone else feel a little whiplash? In the past week, we've been told and told again that it's okay. The gaslighting of the past few years is all okay now because the right people are the ones who are saying all the things, like President Joseph Robinette Biden.
I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid. I know where the power is. You think I'm joking?
I never think he's joking. He's too sad to laugh at. And so is the entire situation of him being in his ill mental state and the continuous pushing by his wife to claim he is okay and that he's still got things to do.
I mean, how many times does he have to say it until you believe it?
So then go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, he says he's not done. He's not finished what he started. And that's what's important. And I think, look at all that Joe has done, has accomplished. I mean, he brought us out of the chaos.
The question is, how many times has the greatest doctor of all doctors, named Dr. J, who hasn't played basketball, had to tell Joe that he is running for president?
Are you running?
Well, apparently someone interviewed my wife today, I heard.
I heard that too, just before I came in.
I got to call her and find out. No, all kidding aside.
He's not kidding. That man must be reminded that he is president right now. And as a reminder to you, Joe's been in political office for 5 decades and hasn't done much of anything. But it's okay. He has more to do. Like gaslight everyone who even remotely found it plausible that the thing we couldn't talk about for more than 2 years actually, maybe, probably, likely came from a lab. And now that the Department of Energy says the likely origin of the COVID-19 pandemic was a lab leak based on new intelligence, then it's okay to say that now. Right? It's okay to say that now. That brings us to today's question. What say you about the COVID-19 origins? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and then share this video because at this point, your theories are as valid as any of the science that has been hypothesized. Now, back to it being okay to say it was likely a lab leak.
The president made trying to find the origins of COVID a priority right when he came into office. And he's got a whole of government effort designed to do that. There is not a consensus right now in the U.S. government about exactly how COVID started. There is just not an intelligence community consensus.
Is there even an intelligence community?
And I would add that one of the things the president did was he's the one who tasked the national labs, which report up through the Department of Energy, to study this as well. So it wasn't just an effort that was confined to the intelligence community. That work is still ongoing. But the president believes it's really important that we continue that work and that we find out as best we can how it started so that we can better prevent a future pandemic.
Glad he added that little bit at the end to cover his arse, because if this did come from a lab, then who says another won't just, poof, concoct itself again, maybe through some more gain-of-function research. Meanwhile, China responded, and of course that means they are telling the truth. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning poo-pooed the idea of COVID being a lab leak.
实验室泄露极不可能，是中国和世卫组织联合专家在实地走访武汉相关实验室，有关方面应当停止翻炒实验室泄露的论调，停止抹黑中国，停止将溯源问题政治化。
Oh, since she said that China and the World Health Organization did their due diligence in detective work, then trust them. It was definitely not a lab leak. So stop smearing China. And the relevant party, as she says, should stop politicizing the issue of origin tracing. Because this is so clearly about the science. Always the science. Insert Lord Fauci. In a recent interview with Boston Globe magazine, because now that his farewell tour finally ended, Lord Fauci is back jonesing for some time back in the limelight. Fauci basically blamed everyone for being, mean to China. As reported in Daily Wire's account of the Fauci interview, Fauci said, "The only way we'll know is if China opens up and we get American scientists, Canadian scientists, Australian scientists to go there and do the kind of surveillance in the wild. The problem is that they've attacked the Chinese so badly. The Chinese authorities act suspicious, even when they have nothing to hide." Because China has nothing to hide. Ever. Can someone from the White House please help defend this notorious gaslighter?
I do want to speak to Dr. Fauci because the political attacks on someone like Dr. Fauci, who and public officials more broadly, but Dr. Fauci, who has spent his career saving lives, and whether it was the AIDS epidemic or as we are just coming out of this COVID, this once-in-a-generation pandemic, these attacks have been counterproductive. They have not been helpful. This is someone, again, who has spent his almost entire career fighting for the well-being, the health of the American people. And so I just want to call out the political attacks. I think, again, it's not been helpful.
Fauci has been as helpful as Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg has been in Ohio. Karine Jean-Pierre just said in that clip that it should not be political. But let's apply that to the train derailment and mushroom cloud situation in East Palestine, Ohio, shall we? Let's first hear from the president who gallivanted Ukraine last week, instead of, even giving a little call into the mayor of East Palestine. But then, who also took time for an interview with David Muir about how he doesn't know what is going on.
So do you plan to travel there, and have you talked with the mayor?
I can't recall whether I don't think I've talked to the mayor. I've talked to everyone else there, and multiple times. I've talked to both the senators, both governors. I've talked to everyone there is to talk to.
Except the actual mayor. You'd think maybe Joe just has low opinions of mayors, but no, he gave Mayor Pete, the worst mayor in the history of Indiana communities, the job as Secretary of Transportation. Let's follow a timeline. Last Tuesday, more than 2 weeks after East Palestine was forever changed for the worse, Mayor Pete said he would not go to Ohio for political reasons.
But, sir, you ran for president. You understand politics better than most, and you know the importance of showing up. So why not go sooner to show people on the ground the efforts being made by the administration?
Well, again, the administration was on the ground from day one. I have followed the normal practice of transportation secretaries in the early days after a crash, allowing NTSB to lead the safety work and staying out of their way. But I am very eager to have conversations with people in East Palestine about how this has impacted them. And again, when I'm there, the focus is going to be on results. It's going to be on work that needs to be done, because one thing I saw as a mayor dealing with multiple disasters is that there's two kinds of people who show up in the aftermath of a disaster. People who are there because they have a specific role to play, and they're there to play their role and do the work and help the community. And people who are there because they want to be seen being there and they want to look good. When I'm there, it's going to be about action.
Listen to that last part. Because not even a full 48 hours later, PD was in East Palestine in front of the cameras doing what exactly?
We've been here from the first hours of the incident as an administration, and it's why our interest both in what happened here in East Palestine and in keeping our railroads safe doesn't go away when some other hot news story comes into the headlines. We're going to be here day in, day out, year in, year out, making our railroads safer and making sure Norfolk Southern meets its responsibilities.
Yes. What exactly changed in those 48 hours? Maybe, just maybe, it was the simple and quite effective move on Donald Trump's part to go to East Palestine on Wednesday, so one day prior.
Former President Trump actually beat Buttigieg to the punch, touching down in Ohio yesterday, bringing bottled water and McDonald's for first responders.
Nice to meet you. Hello, everybody. That's a nice, beautiful looking group of people. So I know this menu better than you do, okay? I probably know it better than anybody in here. We're going to take care of the fire department. Okay. We're going to take care of the police department.
I'm no fan of McDonald's, but I think Trump has enough support for the both of us, and he provided for everyone in not only the McDonald's, but the whole community with pallets of Trump water.
We have told you loud and clear, you are not forgotten. You are not forgotten. We stand with you, we pray for you, and we will stay with you in your fight to help answer, and the accountability that you deserve. We'll have that accountability. It'll all be out there very clearly.
Anywho, I'm glad that Aaron Brockovich, who, if you don't know, was played by the Julia Roberts in the self-titled film Aaron Brockovich, based on actual events, showed up in East Palestine to speak out on what's happening. Brockovich is a legal clerk and environmental activist who helped make Pacific Gas and Electric Company pay hundreds of millions for the Hinckley, California water contamination incident back in 1993.
There's two things that aggravate me, Mr. Masry: being ignored and being lied to.
And so does the real Aaron Brockovich, who sees what's happening in East Palestine and is calling BS.
What's up? Look, you don't have to go any further, in my opinion, than a 100-year study that we all know the miners did for us. It's called The Canary in the Mine Shaft. Send the canary down there, it dies, might not be good for humans. You have dead fish, might not be good for humans. You have dead animals, might not be good for humans. You've sent a horrible mixed message to this community. Drink the water, don't drink the water. Safe, not safe. It's horribly confusing and extremely frustrating to them, and something actually has gone wrong here, and there's information that has yet to come forward, and the story will continue to unfold. You can explain away all day long to me that nothing's wrong, but I see what's going on here.
Yeah, I think it's better to make decisions based on...
You're not going to gaslight me.
And that's where we're at. It's laughable if it wasn't so sad. We, you and I, continue to be gaslit by those who believe we are dumb. Everything is only okay when they say it is okay, and otherwise it continues to be nothing to see here. Well, make sure to keep your eyes open and keep giving your F's: faith, family, and friends. Until next time, stay healthy, America.